Welcome to another episode of Pure Gold Life Without Filter. I'm so happy today because we're local. You can see the beautiful setup. I want to start this chapter saying thank you to everybody who has been subscribing, liking, sharing all the content that I've been posting on social media and in the channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please click the link below and you will be able to see all the content that I bring, myself and all my beautiful guests. That talking about guests, today I bring in with me an exceptional woman. I'm gonna let her talk about her own story, but I'm just gonna say I'm gonna give you a little something about her. Fashion executive, brand strategies. What can I say? Business owner here in Larchmont, this beautiful store called El Mercé. Did I say it right?
Got it right.
Besides that, founder of this company called RGM. And the energy behind so many success designers in New York. So welcome, Rita. Rita Overzat.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, Rita.
I'm
how
so
are
happy
you?
you're here.
I'm so happy that we finally made it. It was so hard,
We're in a
right?
great little space here. We're by ourselves and we've got this beautiful background.
I was like, oh my God, please, I'm so excited to record and we haven't been able to do it.
Right, but here we are.
She has a busy schedule. I have a busy schedule, but we make things happen,
Yes,
right?
we do. Women make all things happen, actually.
Totally. So let's start with the question that I do to everyone with me the first time that I met them. Who is Rita beyond all the titles that I had just said?
I think the most important part is that I have a passion for so many things, and I think I brought that passion here, but I've got a passion for my family, a passion for my 4 children and all my grandchildren, but passion for this industry because I really believe that there's so much merit to this industry and we have such a great opportunity to share this and guide people to their own style. And so I'm an entrepreneur by heart, by trade, and I think that's probably where I sit on all my points.
It's like I think entrepreneur has we have something like a force that they move you, they drive you, they make you go through different scenarios and find yourself on your way, find your path too. And it's different when you work for your passion than you just work because, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think, when you're an entrepreneur, you find that way. You find a way to, expedite and get to the point of what you want to do. I wanted to do this my whole life, but my parents were academics.
Okay.
And they really didn't think there was much merit in being in the fashion industry.
So many people, why parents, they always like kick our dreams?
Well, the thing is that my mother looked like Audrey Hepburn. She was definitely fashion. My father was very, very gorgeous looking as well. He was a doctor. She was an accountant. So they really wanted a different life. They didn't want me in fashion.
No.
But they knew I had that. They knew I had that creative. I took art lessons most of my life. So, and my oldest sister was an artist. So we do have that in our bones. I went after this after I actually got married and had children. I did a lot of fashion shows for St. Vincent's Hospital. I was on the board. And then Saks Fifth Avenue came after me and said, why don't you come work with us? So I ran a company called the Fifth Avenue Club at Saks. So that was really the retail part of the beginning of my business.
Okay.
But with 4 children at home, being in retail, especially holidays, was tough.
Hard.
So I was lucky enough to be directed from upper management into wholesale. And so I worked for a company there. So I realized that one of the most important things was really guiding new designers.
Okay.
So when I worked for Badgley Mischka, which was one of my last wholesale jobs, I was having so many questions from store executives how I could actually guide and mentor new emerging businesses. So I opened RJM.
Okay.
That's really how it all began.
That's why it was going to be my next question. Like, how has been your journey? Because I know you have a long career that we can start. So let's talk about your beginning, the evolution, and what you're doing right now.
So I think, wholesale, one of the things about wholesale is that we have opportunities with major retailers to set them straight on trends and on design and making sure that their customers are completely engaged with what they are buying from them. So we as wholesalers can do that. I opened an office on 55th between 5th and 6th. Believe it or not, in the Chambers Hotel. I rented a suite for 3 months, and I had so many retailers come to me. That was the beginning of my wholesale business. And then I went over to 57th between 5th and 6th, and I have had an office there for 15 years.
Okay.
I worked with every major store. But, the thing is, I found over the years that all the boutiques, the small stores like this, like El Marché, they really are the ones that really direct the fashion in this world because they know their customer. They know their customer. They're so engaged in making sure their customer has their sense of style. So RJM has been, just a great place for me, and I've stayed in that neighborhood for so long because people know me from there. But this is really true. I've always wanted a store. And when COVID came, I started thinking about how I was going to get to be able to travel again because I'm an avid traveler. And all my friends were, why don't you buy a little collection and we'll come and buy it from you? So I started shopping that way. And then I opened my first store actually in Greenwich.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are Larchmont, New Rochelle people at heart. But once my children got married, we moved to Greenwich.
Okay.
So my first store was there, but then a large restaurateur from New York bought the whole building. So I moved back here. This has been an amazing experience. So I continue both. I continue my wholesale. I work with emerging designers, guiding them, in costing, design, definition of who their market is, making sure they fit in the market, making sure they know really who their customer is. And that's one of the most important, their demographic. And so that's one of my jobs that I absolutely love because we are helping what our next next generations are going to be.
So you're a mentor for them.
So I mentor them that's my job. I mentor, and I was telling Juan, I mentor also young college, all the girls and boys that are in the fashion industry in as far away as Northampton University in London. They used to come to my showroom, and I would do an hour seminar on really what is the fashion industry? How do you do business development?
Yes.
How do you become a designer? So it's all of those questions that they'd ask me, and I try to help them at some
Try to figure it out.
I mean, we all have to figure it out
Yes.
because it's a ongoing journey.
Yes, totally. I totally agree with that. But I think it's great. I think I'm also discovering this part of you because, of course, we do some little research about who I'm going to be talking today. But that part for me, because I'm a basketball coach, and I know how important it is to give to the next generation all your expertise.
Yes.
What do you think is the more, I don't want to say difficult, let's say difficult thing to work with the people that work with you in the mentoring, and what is the best advice that you can give them?
I think the hardest thing is for them to understand really where they sit and whether they have legs, I call it legs, whether they actually will take off. Because there are just so many disciplines that go into design. It's not just design. You can have that wonderful idea.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to execute it.
Yes.
And you have to be able to execute it in a way that it will be marketable, it will be affordable, it will sit in, I always say it sits inside our market where you grab where there's a void. And I think that that's the most important thing. It's not easy, and a lot of them have really unrealistic expectations. They think if I sell to Bloomingdale's, I'm going to be a hit. Well, that's not true. There's so many facets that go into it. And I think most times young designers fail because of their unrealistic expectations. Finances can come into it because they have to be prepared. Branding and starting a new brand is very costly. They have to understand that it takes an enormous amount of patience, and it takes an enormous amount of money, and it takes an enormous amount of drive and understanding that the slower and the more positive that you go, the better off it will be in the long run. That's kind of what I do.
I love that you're touching this point because when we talk about designing, most of these people are creative minds.
Right.
they don't really think on the business side of the thing.
Right.
So how can they monetize? Let's just bring into earth right now, because they're here, they're flying, they're creating, they're thinking. So the way how to bring to reality your ideas. One thing is to be a dreamer, and how do you take action to actually reach those goals is what is going to make the difference between you, an incredible designer it can be, or another incredible designer. Like, just the way you make things happen. It's not just about the designer per se. There's so many other areas and in different industry, right? But on this one specifically, I believe it's so important to bring it up, because designers are creative minds. So I think you have a great mix. I don't know if it's
lucky.
because I don't know if it's because of your parents that
It's
they
my
were
parents.
right. I think that really has a lot of influence on you, right?
Enormous. I didn't realize it. My father was a complete academic cardiologist. My mother was academic CPA, but she had an enormous flair for fashion. She knew how to put it together. She knew what her own. She had the best sense of style of anyone that I really know. And I had two other sisters who really had no interest whatsoever.
Okay.
I followed that path, but I also know that designers, it's not just the unrealistic expectations. It's that this is a crazy thing. My dad used to say it to me. Learn to listen. Learning to listen to people who have done that before is probably the biggest thing that you can do in any industry, right?
In life.
In life. Because these guys have so much riding on it, but if they don't understand that if I'm saying to them, the feel isn't great, you've got to go to something different, and your price point doesn't match this. It's all about that understanding and listening to your guidance counselor.
That's the thing. Like, I think active listening for me is the word that I use usually.
Yes.
Because when some people say we can be talking here, but an active listening, like, what do you want to say to me, is what makes also a difference.
Completely.
Sometimes I don't want to say this generation because I'm from this generation, but young generation, young people in general, they're so probably ego, probably because we have so much access to information too, but don't always value the people who has made it before. For me, an amazing value. One of my mentors that I was telling you, Catherine.
Yes.
She was a business owner. She sold her business, and I'm building. So I'm all the time on tables when I barely talk. I'm like, I'd rather to be the ignorant in this table, and I already know that, and I'm good with that, because I like to surround myself with people, with smart people that you can learn. You don't get that often. I'm from another country, and when I moved here, I was so focused on make connections and how important it is that.
It is probably premier. And, when I first left Saks and I went into the wholesale part of it, I went into a very brisk, active company, an Italian company called Trussardi out of Milan. And they were known everywhere. But I went in a big position, and it scared me. And I thought to myself, how am I going to do this? I have the smarts. I know I have the drive. So what I did is I asked questions. But I did. I learned to listen. I listened to people who were in this business, and they'd say, no, don't do that event on this day because Harper's Bazaar is having that event.
Yes.
So I called people. I watched. I listened. I listened to the owners of the company, and I think they were been in business for over 100 years, generation after generation. So I think it's very difficult, but it's definitely something that takes you in a different direction, takes you in a successful direction.
And that's the other thing, because one thing is active listening. Listen to the people that is on a place that you want to be.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, if you're going to be paying attention to everyone who say like, why are you doing that? Oh, don't do that so hard. You're never going to start your project.
No.
Never. If you pay attention to those who haven't done anything, because most of the time, a lot of people can be, I don't want to say rude, but negative about your projects, because sometimes it might sound crazy to them, but craziness is kind of what people what takes to the people to the other
Well,
level.
it's thinking out of the box.
Exactly.
Thinking out of the box is really what brings success too. And I think that one of the things that I felt that when I had these students from all over, as I said, as far as London, they would ask me that, well, how did you get here? And I said, one of the things that I always really believed in, and I believed it from my parents, once again, is that I did everything. I would unpack boxes, I'd hang them up, I'd steam, I would do whatever it took to make sure that whatever project I was working on, it was perfect. And anybody telling me, okay, put this color with this color, do this, I do know that one of the things that I do feel like I'm blessed with is an eye. So I know that when I'm looking at something, and I am visual, better for me to look at something and tell you an answer than anything else. So when I look at something, I know whether it fits. But I told them, read as much, listen to your mentors, read, go to seminars, work in little opportunities like work at Fashion Week for a week. Yes, you'll be the little gopher, you'll be the little slave, but you'll learn so much. It's wonderful.
I want to catch one of the things that you just said. So you were stacking boxes. You were doing
everything.
So for me, that's so important because you said at the beginning, you may have the privilege to be the daughter of a doctor.
Yes.
And an accountant, you said?
Accountant.
And you did everything.
My parents.
You went through the process. How important it is to go through the process to actually learn what are you going to do in every company in different areas. Then you're going to reach the top because you already went through the process, right? You went through the process, you reached the top, but you already know what people do on a daily basis because you know how it works, right?
Well, it teaches everybody a lesson, that's for sure. And it teaches everybody surrounding you that you're a team player. And, this whole everything that we do, every industry, how small or big, you have to be a team player. You have to show that initiative, that you're willing to open the boxes, empty the water, put the flowers in, do everything that's going to make something like cohesive and make something make sense. I always say that about designers. When they're doing a collection, they have to have something in their mind that says, I'm going to tell a story, and my story is going to be, everything's going to be all cohesive and come together because I have followed every step. And that's the same with business. Here, I do everything. I take from UPS, I take from FedEx, I open it, I steam it, I price it, I do everything. But that also teaches everybody who works with you a lesson. And I feel like it taught my children a lesson, and that's how I learn my lessons.
I admire that piece because I think some people don't value because you can be we are in the U.S. The lifestyle that people here is way higher than lifestyle from other countries. I can say because I have lived in Chile. I'm from Chile.
Absolutely.
But although when you have that privilege, you go through different process. You learn as a human being, and you learn as a business owner.
Right.
Now that you were talking about teamwork, right?
Yes.
Like right now you have a team because I can see this beautiful store. Let's start. Let's talk about this store.
I love this store.
Yes, because we are here in Larchmont, New York. So you guys, if you are watching me, Larchmont, New York, what's that? In Palmer Avenue, right?
Palmer Avenue.
In the avenue, it's great, it's beautiful. But it's just you right now? Or you have a team that works with you?
Yes, I have one wonderful, wonderful girl that works for me. And then I have another wonderful young lady who does my Instagram and my reels and things like that. But I have, I really kind of initiate a lot of it. I initiate stories that I want to tell by something that may have just come in. Like for instance, this is brand new. It's Chanel Chiclets and it's rare. And I worked with someone in one of my wholesale lives, I call it, Christopher Donavi. He's a collector of the most beautiful vintage jewelry. A lot of it very big brand names like Chanel. So this came today, and I said, I have to do a story on it because it's just so beautiful. It's all from the glass is just beautiful. It's all 18 karat plated. And it's very iconic and it's very desirable. So when I see things like that, I get very excited. I am very excited about this industry because I think there's so much growth in it, even though so many retail stores are having some soft businesses.
Yes.
I think, if you know your customer, and sometimes if you want to make a trend yourself,
yes,
you buy what you think is going to be wonderful.
Exactly.
and it
I
works.
mean, this area, this store for this area is totally like before I came in, someone just bought the entire mannequin, right?
The whole
I'm like,
mannequin.
man, that outfit was
some
great.
of my new sweaters, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm having a podcast." I wanted that. So yes, no, it's very, very gratifying.
Because I believe, like, when I came in, for me, it was like every piece here is unique.
Yeah.
And what I like in general about fashion is try to be myself, find
Right.
my own style.
That's it.
Be different. I don't want to feel like I'm another one.
No.
I want to stand up from the outside and inside, of course, but from the inside out, so people can see my style. So what do we have here, Rita? Let's talk about a little your store.
So during COVID, I
Yeah.
didn't go into my office in New York. I was doing some projects at home remotely, but all my friends know me and they know that I travel and I love it and I buy things and they're always asking me,
Yeah.
why don't you open a little store?
Yeah.
It's kind of always been a little avocation and passion for me to do this, and I did. And I realized, yes, you can take someone who thinks they don't have style, but they do, because they have their own personal style.
Exactly.
Personal style sometimes just needs to come out of the box. And you need somebody to like mentor once again you
Yeah.
and tell you, no, I see you dressed like this. You're coloring, I see this, try something. And you urge them to try other things and think a little bit more about what they look like. So many women want style, but everybody has it. It just is their own. And we here especially, I don't shop sizes. I don't shop 2, 4, 6, 8. I shop almost everything in the store is one size. So and I also buy according to, like, for instance, our skirts. The elastic is around the back, the flat front. So if you're a little bigger woman, it just expands in the back, but you don't see it, and it's still a flat front. I show them how to adjust their sweaters and their shirts. Mostly everything I buy is Italy, Spain, and south of France and Paris are my primary.
Europe.
All of Europe. I do all of Europe, and it's really about what catches my eye. That's it. And going to some of the vintage like big events or projects, I go and I shop there. People have been very responsive because they come in and there is something. I always say that it's kind of a silly little catch-all, but there is something for everyone here. They can buy a belt, and then of course I have my own brand. But this is probably the second or third order so far since I was there in September.
Wow.
So it sells fast, but I also don't carry a lot. It's a small store.
Yes.
So everything I see that sells well, I just replenish.
And it's special.
Yeah.
Everything is
No,
unique.
it's very
That's
special.
It's
Yes.
unique.
They're not going to go around to different parties or into the city to
No.
a movie or something. They're not going to be sitting next to someone that looks anything like them. And they're going to be very proud of their style.
I like that you say, like, everything that catches your eye, because
Yes.
actually, as you can see, she has a great style.
I love style.
Yes.
I love it. And I look at something and I kind of try to put it together, whether it's something that doesn't match. And I do definitely have a little hippie in me.
Yeah, I could.
I'm
I was gonna say,
I'm
right?
definitely boho. I often try to put as much
Yeah.
like fringe on something that I can on my bags.
I can
Definitely.
see.
And I just try to keep that style because so many styles don't ever go out of trend. I'm not a trend person. I always talk about on trend. I don't talk about trendy because we're not trendy.
No.
I don't believe in trendy because that's in and out. But there's so many styles that come and go and then they come back again. So I always tell everybody, hold on to some of your sweaters, hold on to some of your bell-bottom jeans because they're coming back. And here we are.
I like that you touched that point, like trends against style, because I 100% I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like trends are like they come and go.
Yeah.
You don't follow the trends, you follow yourself.
I try
Stick
to have
yourself.
everybody make their own trend here.
Exactly.
So I was saying before that I think that when I'm shopping, I think about, this I feel could actually this is going to be great. And nobody has it because it's not on trend. It's something that we're going to make a trend. And we try to do that, El Marché. We try to make a trend. And people around here, I did a jean this year. Kat has them.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend.
Let's say like shout out to Kat Prada.
Shout out to Kat, exactly. So I did this jean that I saw, and it was very nautical. It had buttons, gold buttons on both sides. Very, very flattering. And then at the bottom, it was a flare. And I bought a few pair. I ended up, I know I'm going to sound like a big show off, but I have to tell you, I sold 80 pair of them. Every single woman in Larchmont.
They wanted it.
I sent that in. And then I started buying every color. I bought white, black, green, brown, everything.
Yeah.
So you can set your own trend, and that's what we try to do.
I agree totally. So for the people that is watching, if you are in the Westchester area, you got to stop in Larchmont, El Marché. You are not going to regret, right?
No.
I want to ask you what or how it looks like financial success for you.
I think so. I think El Marché comes into the play
Totally.
definitely, and
That's why I was connecting it.
Yeah, that's a little later on for me. I think in my wholesale business, I had a distinct strategy on how to build a brand. That's really what my focus was when I work with as a consultant. So I was building a brand for someone, and I was traveling to Bali, Indonesia, and my girls came with me, and they said, "Mom, you do so much design for people. Why don't we do a bag?"
Yes.
And I said, "Sure." So we did a bag, and it's called the Jenna bag.
Okay.
And it is just one of the best bags ever. We trademarked, not the bag, because you can't trademark anything fashion. You could do a trade dress, actually, with this specific design in the bag.
Okay.
I decided to take this brand and run with it. And Byrne is actually a family name from Larchmont, my husband's mother's name. And we decided to do a little nod to that family. So it's called Byrne, and we do everything in Bali. We work with women's livelihood communities. And it is just so gratifying because all those women wouldn't be able to be in a factory working. They work from home. So they actually take skins from us. Everything is snake skin, but we have no waste. We are sustainable. We've had so much press on the brand, but mostly it's the way you build it.
Yeah.
The way you build it. We had financial success, definitely, but we also had success in so many other ways. We were on the covers of magazines. We were in 2 of the Sex and the City movies. Sarah Jessica Parker loves one of our bags, and she used it as her ad campaign.
Wow.
The Jenna. She used the Jenna bag as our ad campaign. So I think that when you're talking about financial success, you're talking about something that goes hand in hand with, just the brand image, the brand recognition, and that's really what we feel is right behind me, which is Byrne. We started in 2007. We sell to mostly big resorts, Baha Mar, the Cove at the Atlantis. We have specific retail stores that we love that know their customers, and they love Byrne. They have repeat customers. Tonight, while we were getting ready, 2 people came in to look at the Byrne bags. So that's my financial success.
I love it.
More than even in dollars and cents.
Yes. Do you have one of our bags that we can show?
Yes, of course.
Please, bring it in.
Yes. This is the Jenna. So this is the Jenna.
Wait. No.
Sorry.
So that's the Jenna.
So this is the Jenna. So if you look at this Jenna, you see these straps. They go all the way up and around. They're all one piece. And this one, it's a silhouette of a woman, I feel, when you put the Jenna on.
I'm like, that's matched with my skirt.
It is your skirt, you're right. So when you put the Jenna on, it goes over your shoulder, and it just sits right here. It's very stuffed right now, but it's one of the most comfortable bags, and it folds to absolutely nothing.
And it feels great.
And you're traveling. So this is
great.
one of our skins. It's called Wash Python. I developed this skin about 2 years ago in Bali when I said, okay, we need to do some new skins. We do a lot of hand-painted skins, as you can see up here.
Yes.
We use artisans for that. So we use as many resources in Bali and people that don't typically have work and are very talented. This is washed python, so they actually take the python, they wash it. We have our own skin farms through my factory, not mine.
Okay.
Through my factory, and she actually, what we do, they put all the skins in a vat. It bleaches them, and then I come up with all the colors, and then send them to her, and send all the hand painted to her. What kind of design I want.
Wow.
So I design all the bags.
Wow.
So
Rita, this is great.
it's beautiful.
I love the way that you know the entire process.
I know the process.
That's the way you know that someone is love what they do.
Yes.
Because you know the entire process from the beginning to this.
It's beautiful. And we have, the nice part of it is I worked with my two daughters. And you know what? That's another lesson to be learned, because when they see someone like their mom or their aunt or somebody that's higher up or older than they are,
Yes.
and they see the work that they do, that's such great teaching to them.
Totally.
But Burn has been in our family. We absolutely love it. And now we just continue on and on. And this has, El Marché has been, we offered such an opportunity to put a whole wall of it.
I just love it. Now that you brought it up to work with your daughters.
Yes.
Because most of the people, I don't know if it's a Spanish thing, but we say that we don't do business with family.
Oh, yeah.
You can show me that this works.
Oh, it definitely works. My girls were very engaged in making sure that we had something that was us, and they kept coming up with names like between the three of us. One's Jenna, one's Allie, and one's me, Rita. And they were trying to come up with a name, and I said, no, let's do a family name.
Yeah.
And they worked like dogs on it. They have 3 children each now, so they're a little bit more removed from the business, but they still tell me like, let's do this event here. Let's do this color. Let's do this design. So it was a wonderful experience. I think it was a great experience for them. We did HSN. We were on HSN. We did a specific bag and group of bags for HSN. We had an amazing sell through. So people, we've just had a great run with it. That has been a great journey. That's been the great journey.
The reason why I'm asking you is because, most of the people think that you can do business with family or friends. Right. And I think in one of my episodes, I was talking with one of my guests. It wasn't a Spanish episode, but I told her, like, what do you rather to have, friends or money? She goes like, I actually prefer to have friends over money. And I told her, what if you could make money with your friends? What if you will be able to make money with your family? If all of you are in the same group, you are the same front, and you are in the same direction. And if I'm going up, I would love to bring up with me my people.
That's so interesting, because I think that's how I feel. I feel like it was an opportunity, but it was a privilege to work with my 2 daughters, and they helped me build this business. So yes, that we brought this up together. It was. It has been amazing and still is amazing, and we just continue to go on, and we have really nice followers. We were in every major store. We were Neiman's, Bergdorf's, Bloomingdale's, everywhere. But I think that the key to our success in this was working with specialty stores like an El Marché, because, as I said, they know their customers and they sell it well and they tell the story.
That's the thing.
They tell the story.
That's why when I told you, you know the entire process, and it has a story behind a brand. And how important is to have that story behind, because there's so many brands out there, but nobody is like yours.
Well, see, I think I learned that when I was at one of my first wholesale jobs, Trussardi. They had such an amazing, impeccable history, because the grandfather did all of the leather gloves for the Italian National Army. And when I sold it to like Barney's and Saks and all the big stores, I realized that the story is what sold them, because then everybody feels they have a little piece of that story. Carrying a Burn bag, people come up to me sometimes if I'm wearing one. They were like, I have Burn bags from so many years ago. I just love them. And it makes you feel so good. It makes you feel like you have made somebody happy.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, we're not curing cancer. We're not doing any of this. But what we are doing,
your father is doing that.
We are making people feel happy.
Yes.
And we're making people feel maybe confident about themselves when they carry a beautiful bag or they wear a gorgeous thing that makes them have their sense of style.
You're like, this is me.
Yes.
This is part of me, right? And in financially terms, what has been the more hardest maybe decision or something that happened in terms of finances for the business that you had to go through?
I think the biggest obstacle is the fact that we self-finance.
Yeah.
So we never had partners. It's family run and owned. We really never had lines of credit. We've decided to try to take that money and turn it into money. So most of our money, everything we make, goes back into branding of the company, the marketing of the company, events that we do, because I do trade shows to meet all my big retailers. So that's probably been the biggest obstacle, is self-financing, or finding a partner that understands what your brand really represents to you and doesn't want to change it.
Yeah, and it's challenging too, because I remember when I started to like plan to have a business, I was all automatically, my mind was like, I probably need a partner, but then you don't realize how much you can do on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't need anybody else to start a business if you can do at least all the basic things. And if you find someone, it has to be someone has the same or even more thrive than you.
Well, I think it has to have your point of view.
Yes.
I have a very strong point of view, and I'm the first one to recognize that and know that it might not be easy for me to be with a partner. My daughters are partners, but they understand they have the same vision that I have. Not everybody does.
No.
And also, I think partners want the return in money more than the return in the brand development and the recognition.
So for how long you are been working on this brand? 3 years? I know you are 3 years here, right?
3 years in here, but in Bern, we started in 2007.
2007. So in what process of your brand you are? Like, you know, every business has like a different...
So we are on, in fact, we know, because we get that from the industry, we're on the climbing list. That means up to the, we are luxury, but we are perceived luxury, because our price points are much more contemporary luxury. They're not opening price point by any means, but the same type of skins in a big brand label, Marc Jacobs, you know, Saint Laurent, any one of those would be 5 times the price that we have. But for us, we're still luxury, and we decided that when we were doing this brand that we didn't want logos, we didn't want hardware. So if you look at the bags, almost all the bags are just skin, just to show the beauty of the skin and the design.
And it doesn't, what it makes people know that it's your brand? It has something in the inside?
We have a label inside.
Oh, okay.
And I call it like the little boho label, because we don't do these fancy.
Soft. Which I love.
Yes, and we have 2 pockets inside and a zip pocket. One for media and one for like keys, and the other one to put whatever else. It is an amazing bag, but we put crossbody straps on all our bags. We try to stay up with what's happening in the industry, what's happening in the demand of the consumer. Do they want a wristlet? Do they want a crossbody? So we do all of that with all of our consumers telling us what they want.
That's luxury for me. Luxury for me is not about huge logos. Like, I don't really like when people wear these huge logo brands and just to show that they are a certain level. When you carry something like that and you feel like it's part of you and it represented you, that's luxury for me.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I think luxury really is in the eye of the beholder, first of all.
Totally.
And of course, that's the same thing about style, but also skin. If you have a beautiful skin and it's soft and luxurious and color-wise, and the style of the bag, it never goes out of style. You have it forever. So I think that to me is luxury. Luxury is dressing, is underdressing.
Yes. This is like the point of view, because it's hard like to make the difference between the people that actually has certain level in terms of like financial level, because I know a lot of wealth people, and most of them, they're so simple people.
I think understated is the way to go.
It's just so simple. They're like, this, yes, I like this, okay, I'm gonna get it. They don't care about the brand, the logos. If it's something that it makes sense with them, they will get it.
Yeah.
And some people, they don't have enough money. They just buy huge things. Just to show that they're able to get it.
Right. What the crowd wants.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're not about that. We're about understated luxury. We want Bern, and we want all of the El Marché consumers and customers. They come in just to chat sometimes and talk about what's coming up, what's new, and they know that their sense of style has been enhanced.
In your personal experience, because we were talking about financial success and how you make money and what process of you as Rita, how has been your relationship with money? Because I know your mom was an accountant, your dad was a doctor, you were maybe born in a kind of privilege, but
Yes.
you went through different seasons, let's say. But your relationship with money has been evolved since you started your own brand.
Well, I feel very independent, even though my husband and I are married a long time and we adore each other.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling to know that you do something that generates an income and value, and that grows all the time. I listen very carefully to people. I read a ton about managing businesses, small businesses like this, and I feel like I feel as though I'm always learning, and I'm always trying to find out the next step of how to make it even more successful. Without spending a lot of money. And I think that's one of the things about my parents is that I said I know that we were privileged, but my parents never let us know that we were privileged. And they both worked, and I think that role model has stayed in my head of my mother and father working. My mother used to do all my father's books, so I used to see her working all hours of the night. So to me, the privilege was understated. So I tried to do that with my children, and I try to be very careful, even though we do have a lot. And I think that that's something also in Westchester County.
Yes.
We have to think about, and our kids have to have, I have 4 children, and they all work really hard. And they're all very successful. So I feel like, I always say, one thing in my life I feel I did is teach my children that lesson.
I love that you're saying that because we are in Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
So
That's my thanks.
Yes. It's important to see your reality. How grateful I am because I have what I have, because I have the people around me. I have my family. I know I have certain privilege, but I've been working for it too.
Yes.
And that's the important thing. Like, maybe, yes, you were born in kind of privilege, but you went through different process. Like every person go and fight their own personal battles. It doesn't have to be always in this plane, like in this area, in the business area. It also can be in the emotional area. There's so many areas that people has different battles. But I'm thankful because I met you today. I'm thankful because I'm working on my business, I'm working on my projects, and I can see that you're grateful because of your family. I can see that you're grateful because of your successful business. And Thanksgiving week is all about that. I think I didn't discover these holidays. We don't celebrate this in Chile.
I know.
We don't celebrate. It's here. And when I moved here, I realized that it's one of my favorite holidays because it's nothing about religion. It's everything about your personal experience. What are you grateful today?
That's so funny. I am so grateful to have been brought up the way I was, and that I do cherish this holiday. It was a very big holiday in my family, and it was all about Thanksgiving, and it was about thankful. And I think my family comes into every part of my business, everything that I do. So that is what I'm so grateful for.
I'm glad to hear that. Talking about grateful, I brought you a little present.
And I have a little present
Oh,
for you.
okay. Let me give you. This is my brand. I have a sunglasses brand.
You do?
This is eco-friendly. This is made of cork.
Is this cork?
This is cork.
Ah. Okay, I'm going to do this.
So it's important to say also, Chili Shade is the sponsor for the podcast. We donate every 10% in every sale for a nonprofit organization that clean the beach here in New York, in Long Island. We go there every summer.
So the aviators,
I know,
the
best.
Know,
I read your mind.
This is what this is.
I read your mind.
Okay, these are fabulous. These are fabulous. I'm going to try these on and tell me what you think, guys.
I know. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. It matched you perfect.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
But thank you most of all because I think sometimes sharing stories, I don't have my mic up here. Sometimes sharing stories is really important because you don't realize some of the things that you are grateful for.
Yes.
Or what you've done in your life.
Yes.
Or pointed questions.
Exactly.
And I think it's wonderful. So thank you.
We don't talk often about our own story. You don't know, because some people like to talk about themselves. I am not one of them. I like to listen. So that's one of the reasons why I started the podcast, because I'm good at asking questions. I'm like, why are you doing that? I'm curious. And I think one of my things is like I'm curious about everything. So if you're curious like a kid, if you're always curious like a kid, you're being always finding new things to learn. So I'm happy and I'm excited to see my present now.
Oh my God. Okay. Hold this. Let me get. I have something for Juan too. So these are the things that I don't make a lot of men's things, but I do make.
She say that she doesn't do a lot of men things, but she's bringing my gift now.
This. So Juan can pick whatever he wants. So these bags.
We have a bag, okay. She doesn't have the mic, but she's talking to me. Wow.
So.
Be careful. Don't sit on the glasses.
No. We'll move the glasses. So this bag is called the Allie bag. It's named after, my mother is Alice. My daughter is Alice. And my daughter we call Allie. So we named it after Allie. Okay. So it's a bag that my mother actually had, but in, no crossbody strap, no zipper, no flap in the front, no top stitch. It was a beautiful black crocodile bag that my dad had bought her. But I kept some of the dimensions on it. Like there are two zippers so that you don't have to open the whole bag. You're traveling, you don't have to open the whole bag. You can put your hand in one corner of it.
Wait, that's for me?
This is for you. This is a
wow.
This is a process that we do. We take the skin down to absolutely nothing, and then we pour metallic over it, and they rub it for hours. So it's a beautiful skin. Yeah.
Wow.
We also do, let me just show you, the most unbelievable credit card cases. It's one of our big things that people love, because they can put it in their little pocket. They can put it when they're running. But we do
this is for men?
This is for men.
I know my producer, my camera guy will love that one.
He's going to love this. So, no, I just wanted to show you. So, this was the one I had. I'm going to take the price out of it. But, I mean, this is the one I had for Juan. And I said, my two boys and my husband cannot live without this wallet. So, this is for Juan.
Oh.
So, just a little something thank you for taking up your time and coming and sharing my story, my adventure.
I'm so happy for being here to finally meet you. 100% I'm going to be back.
And thank you to Kat.
Thank you to Kat.
I wrote to her today and said, yes. I'm very thankful for you.
Oh, I'm so happy for being here. So happy because I met you. Thank you guys for watching till the end. You already know. I'm going to leave your social media. I don't know if the store has social media too, right?
Yes.
All the social media from Rita, from the store, that you can check it out, everything what she has. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, subscribe and see you in the next one.